Hello. Um, I have a general idea of what I'm trying to draw, but I'm not sure I'm gonna find how to do it right away. Um, and I'm not even sure what I'm going to talk about during this video, so... And as usual, I have my very amateur setup with my phone stuck up there instead of an actual camera. So yeah, basically I'm going to throw a curveball there, considering what I'm currently drawing, which looks like a decaying deer head, but it's Eurovision in a in a couple of months, and as usual, people release the songs, the entries, a bit in advance every year. And this year, Ukraine has a very good song called Shum by Goa. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but anyway, the point is the song is some sort of spring rite, traditional spring rite, with dances and something to call spring and to make winter go away, basically. And except I'm not gonna say it's agrotech. It's not exactly hard enough to be considered agrotech, but at the very least, very punchy EBM sound, that's not at all what you'd expect to hear with this kind of concept behind a song. That's not the kind of sound you'd expect to hear with this concept, and it's basically my favorite entry so far. I'm gonna say favorite. I'm not saying favorite entry period, because there are still a couple of them that haven't been released yet. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be my favorite entry for this year. And ever since then, I've had this mental image of some sort of really creepy, old, ancient forest spirit, but wearing this kind of, you know, glow sticks and stuff you'd find in a rave. The contrast, because I think the contrast is jarring, but it's also very beautiful. And yeah, next to me, you can see it. It's on the computer, but next to me I have a few references. I have a picture of a really weird tree that I took in Canada, in British Columbia, a year and a half ago. I have pictures of deer skulls. And various other things. So yeah, I'm drawing a weird forest spirit, but with rave elements to it. This is too flowy. I want it to be more. You know why this is too flowy? Yeah, because I'm not listening to the song. I'm gonna put it on. Yeah. Immediately, instead of drawing flowing shapes, I'm drawing geometric shapes. I mean, we can make it flowing a bit because, like, it's supposed to be some sort of weird spirit. I'm not talking. I'm sorry. Or maybe you prefer it that way. I don't know, but yeah, I think that looks okay for a sketch. There's a lot of time left, so I'm not gonna transfer it right away. That's my quick hand way to make ferns. Anyway, actually, that's not the quickest way, I know, but the quickest way looks really bad in the foreground. Is it filming? Yeah, it's recording. I wasn't really planning on filming anything today. I expected to work super late, but I didn't have that much to do today. I mean, I I still worked the entire day, but it was less than I expected. I'm currently working from home almost every day of the week, which is really good. I mean, it's it's great in a way, but it's also a bit ridiculous. Let me explain. I mean, for years, people who wanted to work from home la- that often for any reason. For I don't know, because they had kids, because they were I don't know, disabled, because they were living very far from their workplace. I don't know any reason. We're always met with the wall of no, we can't do that. It's too complicated to implement. There's this and that reason against it. And the minute everyone is confronted to a pandemic, and suddenly, all of a sudden, it's everyone's problem. No, everyone's finding solutions to make it work, and all of a sudden it works. What a surprise! It's almost as if it was possible to do this all along. Who knew? It's really, I don't know. I mean, I'm not directly impacted by this, but it still kind of pisses me off because imagine the the time everyone lost in the process, the energy, and the it's just a waste of time and effort just to tell people they can do a thing, even though they absolutely can, with very little effort on the part of the person employing them, or refusing to employ them because they supposedly can't do that and let them work from home. This video is starting to sound exceptionally bitter. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to talk about something else. I mean, I'm not directly impacted by this kind of issue, but it's still a part of my work because I I study case files for to help people paying for adaptive things in their homes. So yeah, I very rarely use this. It's a thing to draw circles, as you can see, because mostly because I'm this is gonna sound stupid. I'm not very good at using it. Often I I don't close the circle perfectly, and it looks weird. How much time left? Okay, I'm gonna accelerate a bit. Back with the flowing lines. We're gonna deal with the little items later. These hands are way too normal. I'm gonna have to make them weird with the color. Hmm. As usual, when I end up liking a Eurovision song a lot, I'm pretty sure it's not gonna win. I it's for one, it's not in English. It's very very rare when a song that is not in English wins. I mean, it happened recently with Portugal, but I very very much doubt this gonna happen this year. But who knows? I mean, we've been surprised in the past. But yeah, usually the things I root for don't win. Which isn't really the point. I mean, the point is to listen to all the weird, crazy things everyone came up with and have fun. As I often explain to people who watch it for the first time, if you're watching it to see your favorite song win, don't watch it because it's not gonna happen. If you're watching to see your country win, don't watch it either because you can't even vote for your own country. So what's the point? I mean, the point is to appreciate songs from other countries. You can listen to stuff from your own country the rest of the year on the radio anyway, so. And sometimes it's people who are never gonna have successful songs again, and sometimes they become successful. 2 years ago, there was this guy from Italy called Mahmoud, and his song was very good. It was called Soldi. You probably heard it, and everyone loved it. I mean, I was a bit disappointed he didn't win. I wasn't. He wasn't my favorite, but I was definitely rooting for him to win. And he was only second, I think, which is already very good, especially for a song that is not in English. Again, but yeah, it was really really good, and he's got a pretty good career as I understand it now. I mean, he already had, but people didn't really know about him outside of Italy, which is a shame. Of course, as you may be aware, if you know me a little, my favorite from that year were Hattery from Iceland, and they had a lot of success out of their country since then. A lot. They kind of, I mean, it's weird saying that because I only discovered that band very late in their career, but they feel like some eras of Depeche Mode in some regards. Very provocative stuff, but they have stuff to say, if that makes sense. But they are way more frontal about it compared to Depeche Mode, and they are very funny too. So I mean, it's the good way to use trolling. It's to provoke a reaction, but not for free, if that makes sense. Not gratuitous. Very difficult to pronounce that word. Gratuitous. Not for no reason at all. Sorry, my English sucks, and you know it. Gratuitous. Ah, I give up. I know it makes some of you laugh anyway, so it's. I'm gonna learn how to say it eventually. Not today. Where we've done the most difficult parts, and there's 2 minutes left. Oh my god. Can we do it? I don't know. But we're gonna try. But yeah, Hattery. I was so sad when quarantine first started in my country because it was 2 weeks before the only concert Hattery was going to have in France. and they had to cancel it. And I was really bummed about that. I mean, I didn't mind the entirety, the entire rest of the situation. I didn't mind staying at home. I didn't mind the restrictions, but I really, really, really missed seeing Hatchery in concert, especially because it was in my favorite small concert hall in Paris, and it was at Le Trabendo. Le Trabendo is my favorite. It's a very small club, but very, very good. The best concert, one of the best concerts I ever saw was there with VNV Nation. It was incredible. And yeah. There's no time left. If it stops, too bad. But it's almost done. This is why I like drawing monsters and weird things more than human beings, because we're barely 20 minutes in and I'm already starting to color. I don't enjoy drawing faces. I don't enjoy drawing realistic details or even things that aren't in the uncanny valley. You have to put extra effort for this. You know, I mean, this is the most removed from natural stuff, but and peaceful, tranquil drawings. But there's a video, I can't remember which one, but there's a Bob Ross video where he goes, I stopped drawing faces and I started to draw trees, because when you draw trees, when you draw people, if you get something wrong and the face is all strange, people are like, oh, there's something uncanny about this. But if you're drawing a crooked tree or a weird tree, someone's going, oh, I know that tree. I have this exact tree at in the back of my garden. You can draw crooked trees. You can draw crooked monsters and weird shit like this, and you can. I mean, I'm not saying you put less effort, but effort isn't in the same places, if that makes sense. What I'm trying to get at is with these kinds of drawings, I can put effort on stuff I like instead of putting it on stuff I dislike, like research, perspective, faces, and I can put it on stuff I like shapes, lines, flowing lines, and especially colors. I'm gonna go wild with the colors on this one. And shadows, I love working with shadows. I mean, it used to be something I really, really didn't like doing. And I'm not even sure when I started to enjoy it. For years, putting shadows on things was a really, really bad experience for me. And I don't know, there was one time after a while it just happened, if that makes sense. I'm not even sure how to explain it. One day you're struggling with tutorials on how to find light sources and stuff for years, and all of a sudden the struggle stops and you're not even sure why. which tends to prove that tutorials and stuff like that are good and effective, just not in the way you think it works. Like you're not gonna do it once or twice or 10 times and know how it works, but after a while your brain is gonna register how it works without you even noticing, and after a while you're gonna stop thinking about the thing and it's gonna happen. You spend a lot of time learning how to draw hands, and you suck at it, and one day you start drawing decent hands and you're like, since when can I do that? And I don't know, and we don't know when that happened, but it happened, and that's what's important. See, I don't like this shadow. I don't like how it's placed, so I'm just gonna erase it. That's also a lie. People like to tell the, oh, watercolor is a medium where you can't correct your mistakes, but you can. You totally can. I just did it. You just need to act relatively quickly and erase it with water and a tissue. You can't do that too many times because it damages the paper after a while, because water always does that. That's my shorthand to draw leaves. I realize I haven't used it yet in my videos. But when I'm painting outside, I do that a lot. I should say when I used to paint outside, because currently we can't really do that. I mean, I could do it in the middle of the day if I didn't work from home, but I mean, and if it wasn't raining, there's been a few times where I was like, oh, I finished working early, I can go to the park, and it's raining. Yeah, no thanks, no thanks. This happened today, by the way. That was something I thought I could do, but it was raining, so I couldn't. And I think that's it for the shadows. We're gonna let it dry, and I'll come back later. If you hear a lot of noise in the background, it's because I'm no longer at home, and there is nothing I can do about that, so it's time to pick the colors of the... I'm sorry about the noise. You're probably also going to hear my cat playing in the background at some point. So I'm going to pick the colors of the glow sticks, and I don't want them to be all green all the time. But some of them are green. I might even change my mind, so I'm not even sure it's gonna stay like these colors exactly. But yeah, I want something glowing pink, something glowing green, something glowing yellow. But all of this is going to appear more clearly later down the line. So what we're going to do now is putting the basic colors, as I always say on my Patreon. What I call basic colors, sorry, I'm trying to speak over the noise of the keyboard in the background. What I'm calling the basic colors are stuff. I think I already mentioned that, but for people who aren't watching all the videos, that's everything I can't make perfectly with only the inks. Because at some point I'm going to drop a shit ton of ink on this drawing. And ink is rather transparent, and it doesn't have a lot of nuance. Oh, another word I can say. All by itself. So it's better to have basic colors underneath before you paint. And they don't have to look perfect either. You can do them rather quickly. You can do them rather quickly, and the stuff you put on top is going to make them look better anyway, so... Okay, while this is drawing sort of, I'm gonna do some stuff in the background. This is too green. I'm not sure I like this green. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna put some red in it. I want it to look a bit dead, because if it looks that alive, the glow sticks won't make a good contrast with it. So I'm gonna add some red to kill some of these ferns and make them less lush. I'm not even sure what the color of which color are the rocks yet. Let's say mostly gray. Mostly brownish gray. But green on one side. Meow. And my cat joined in. So yeah, if you wanted a calm video, this is not one of them. One of the recent video I made had a noise from the neighbors, even doing some repair work. I'm going to do some sort of purple color to put on the tree before putting brown on the tree. The reason for this is to make more interesting shadows. I don't even know how it works. I'm not even trying to explain, because I'm not really sure how it works. But when you put color on shadows, they look a bit more alive in the end. So I'm going to put some red here before putting on the green, because I don't want it to look too alive. I want this to look alive even though the character looks dead. Speaking of which, I'm gonna color the skull. I don't want it to look completely white. I want it to look brownish. I'm gonna add white on top of it anyway later with Posca, so we are going to come back to the coat now, and I want it emerald green. And it's gonna change when I put ink on top, for sure, but for now it's emerald green. I want it more blue, to be honest. I don't. It's not going to end up bright green like this. It's probably gonna end up bluish green or something, but not emerald like this. But it's a basis, so again, I'm not even trying to be super precise when I color this, because it's going to change a lot by the time I add inks on top. I don't know what the cat is complaining about, to be honest. It's not even time for food, so... Okay, at this point I'm pretty sure we can come back on the tree and add some brown. Yeah, it's safe to add some brown. Wow. I'm sorry again about all the noise, but I live in I live in a very, very cramped apartment, and it's not like I have much choice. There isn't even an extra room where I could put some insonorization or anything like that. I can't even... there isn't another room for me to go to, basically, so... And during the day I'm supposed to work, so I can't do this at an hour where there's nobody else. And even that is not foolproof when I can do it, as you might have noticed last time, because the neighbors were noisy, so... And also, if I had enough money to soundproof a room, I surely had... I would have enough money to live in a place that isn't a cramped apartment, so... So, how much time left? We're only 10 minutes in. Are you serious? Again, this is why I like drawing stuff more freely like this. One of the first videos I uploaded here was this trending fan art with very, very realistically drawn characters, and I really enjoyed making it, but and I love the result, but it's kind of excruciating to me to not do stuff quickly like this. I like drawing quickly. I'm kind of chaotic like this, and I need a chaotic medium to feel good. For years I used acrylics, and Acrylics are definitely not a chaotic medium. As much as I wanted them to be, they weren't. And I tried. I tried painting with my fingers. I tried a lot of things actually, but I never found a way to paint with them where I was comfortable doing it. And before that, even worse. My biggest projects were made with pastels, which are not at all chaotic, nor good actually. I'd say pastels are loyal evil. Yeah, pastels are loyal evil. Acrylics would be loyal good, I think, because they do exactly what you want them to do, and they stay there. Watercolor is definitely the chaotic good medium, at least to me, because it does exactly what it wants to do, and you're just along for the ride. And sometimes it does pretty things, and sometimes it doesn't. And when it likes you, it's gonna do good, nice things for you, because you're not trying to tell it what to do, because it kind of has a mind of its own. So you just have to let it go and do its thing, and that's fine for me. I really like watercolor, as you know. I'm I'm kind of it feels kind of good to have this kind of art medium, and to tell it, yeah, take the wheel. I'm just going to watch. And that's it for basic colors. I'm gonna let it dry and I'll be back. As you know, my favorite part is always the ink. So welcome to my favorite part. I have a lot of inks around me. Usually I'd show you all the inks beforehand, but like there's half my ink set around me, so not sure what the point would be. I'm starting with brown. I mean, obviously, because there's a tree there. But I'm not going to put it just on the tree. Okay. I'm going to put some of it on the stones. A bit more. The branch looks somewhat okay. I'm not going to put anything on it. I'm gonna put blood red right now on the branches. The reason I'm doing this is because it's gonna make the green look a bit less pleasant once I put it over the red. Gives it a brown-like strange tint. I don't want this forest to feel completely comfy, but I don't want it to look scary, but I don't want it to look comfy. So blood red it is. I'm going to put a lot of it over the ferns too. I'm sure you've noticed it's a bit darker because night is falling, so and a bit more over there and over there. Okay. Um, now we are going to let this dry, the red part dry, and we are going to work on another place. And yeah, surprise, it's my favorite color, it's China Blue. I mean, I use it everywhere, so. And I'm going to use it a lot on the coat, like a lot of it, like a whole glob of it. While I'm doing this, I would like to apologize for the length of these videos. I'm pretty sure I could edit them to be more, quick and fun, and you wouldn't have to hear all my ramblings. But I don't know how to explain this. It's not that I hate editing videos, it's that I don't know if you've noticed, you've probably noticed, but the pitch of my voice is all over the place. There's no nice way to say it. I really don't like my voice. There's no nice way to say it. I really don't like my voice, and hearing it is not the best experience for me. So I don't like watching stuff where I'm talking over and over again, if that makes sense, because it's kind of uncomfortable for me. Took me ages to sort of accept my face, so I still have work to do to accept my voice. I'm sorry, I'm not commenting over this, but I'm using blue. This is not China blue. This is not the type of blue. I don't remember what it is. I think it's cobalt blue. It's the not nice type of blue. It's the mean blue, the sad blue. Basically, instead of mixing inks on the palette to create colors, I am mixing them directly on the paper. That's a time-saving method I found some years ago, and it's very dangerous, but it's also very funny. So you never quite know what you're going to end up with. You have a general idea, but I mean, I told you what watercolor was chaotic good. Inks would be chaotic neutral, I think. I'm going to put blue on the tree too. Deepens the shadow a bit. How much time? Oh, only 6 minutes. I'm on a roll today. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm pretty sure it's going to be an hour or so, as usual, but time is flying by, for me at least, while I'm making this, because it's really fun to make. I I may not sound like I'm having fun, but I'm definitely having fun. This is bright pink. This is an ink I'm not using very often, because it's very not that I dislike pink. Well, I have a long history and long and tumultuous, very difficult word to say. In French, it would be tumultueux, tumultuous. very complicated relationship with pink. At some point, I'm pretty sure it's going to be possible to make some sort of drinking game out of this stupid things I do in these videos. And Johannes tries to say a word, can't say a word, and ends up saying a different word that is simpler to pronounce. Would definitely be a take a shot rule in that game. Okay, I'm going to put, this is very dangerous, but I'm going to put a little blue, very, very little blue on the yellow here. And it turned out okay. Okay. I'm not sure it's going to look right, so I'm going to put a little bit more blue over everything there. Up there. There's a nice color variation. I like this already. I hope it's going to look right when I put yellow ink over it, but I really like where this is going. Anyway, yeah, I don't like my voice. Yet, I mean, in the future, I'm pretty sure I'm going to accept it one day. But still kind of a dysphoria point for me. I'm not very fond of it. I mean, it's not an ugly voice, but you know what I mean. You know exactly what I mean. Took me ages to accept my face. At some point, I started to make a portrait, a self-portrait, to try to accept my face. And no joke, it took me 8 years to complete. Needless to say, it was a process. Sometimes I would stick papers on top of it because I didn't want to look at it. That's that's the level of self-loathing we're talking about. There's an expression in French. I'm not sure there's a literal English equivalent, but there's an expression that says ne pas pouvoir se voir en peinture, being unable to see oneself as a painting. That's when you really, really don't like yourself. And yeah, that's kind of fitting. That's a very fitting expression. I don't know who came up with it, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone told me it was a transgender person who came up with it. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to put a bit of pink on the tree, weirdly enough, because I wanted to reflect the bright pink that's here. I'm going to try to put it there, but it's not cooperating with me. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and oh, plenty of time left. We're also going to put some... I'm not going to put the yellow on the entire thing yet, but I'm just going to put a little bit of yellow on the glowy parts. Just to know where it should be. Looks pretty good so far. Glowsticks. Glowsticks and neons. I've already told you so, but I really miss concerts. There's a lot I don't miss about the whole pandemic situation, but I really miss concerts. I really miss electro concerts. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry, and we'll be back for the yellow. I have no idea how it's going to look like when I put the yellow ink on top, so this is kind of exciting. See you later. Are you ready for this? Let's go. I'm not talking because I am fascinated by what's happening on this paper. I'm not even sure I have already used this technique properly, I mean, in one of these videos, and every time it's like to me it's like a dramatic reveal, like, oh, this is what I was working on all this time and I didn't know. I mean, I can understand if it's looks weird to be to not know where your own drawing is going, but that's this technique for you. See, this is why it wasn't very important to put the first colors very well and very precisely, because you almost can't see them anymore under all this. Okay, a bit more. I'm trying not to kill the pink areas. I'm gonna put a little bit on the head as well. It's not how I expected it to look, but it looks pretty good. I'm gonna put a bit more pink on some areas. And blend it with the rest to achieve some sort of glow. And I have to do this before it's completely dry, because otherwise it's not gonna glow as well as it does when it's not dry. And I'm sure there's a lot of artistic names for the things I'm doing, but I just use my own bullshit terminology because I don't know how anything works, because I'm dumb and also stupid, but you knew that already. Okay, and now we are going to blend the blue. You know what, I was super sure that when I put the yellow, I'd know how it would look like in the end. But I'm not sure anymore. I'm not sure at all. And I like not knowing. I think this one is going to be one of these cases where the Posca makes it or break it, and where I can finally know where I'm going with this when I finally apply the Posca. But I gotta say, it still looks pretty nice already. Yeah, I think I really like this. I'm going to let this dry again. That's the problem with this technique. You have to wait every time. I had to start this video again because of a technical issue. But as you can see, I only added lights here, 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 and here. So we are not that far into the process. So it should be fine. As you can see, I have a pale blue, bright pink, and ivory white. To make some details. And of course a Posca, but I'm starting with the less obvious lights, if that makes sense. That is my shorthand to make tree bark. I'm not sure we've seen this in any video so far. It's like making lines that are curved, and sometimes they meet like this. And of course it doesn't work for every kind of tree, but it's recognizable enough as tree bark to work most of the time. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the excuse me about the noise. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the pink lines here. The thing is, if I put too much pink here, it's going to disappear. The lines are going to disappear. This seems about right. What else can I talk about? Today at my job things were pretty calm, and by calm I mean I was able to to have a lunch break. Usually I can't, which means for the first time in actual years I decided to continue reading Doctor Who. It's Doctor Adventure that I had started to read like more than 2 years ago, and never finished because I was depressed at the time and was I mean, I kept finding excuses like, I'm too busy at my job and stuff like that to read it. But let's be real. It was this thing that happens when you're depressed, where you can't do things that you like, where your brain is actively preventing from doing stuff you like, and that would give you joy. And I stopped being depressed in 2019, but because I had stopped reading this book so long ago, I had trouble picking it up again. I would start again and stop, and it's a really good book. That's what makes this even worse. It's a really good book. It's the Book of the Steel, and I also know a lot of people are. A lot of my friends are super super hyped about me reading this book. I still don't know why. I'm like I've read like 2/3 of the book. I'm not even sure yet what's so exciting about it. I mean, I really really enjoy the book. It's I don't I keep giving notes to these books because I like to keep tabs and about my thoughts on these books. But it's a very good book, but it's not like a 10 out of 10 book so far. It's like maybe an 8 or 9, more like an 8. It's very fun, but it's not. It's great, but it's not groundbreaking so far. Maybe there's something groundbreaking later. I don't know, and maybe I'm gonna find this video again in a few days or more, when I have actually finished the book, and I am going to be like, yeah, no, I had no idea what's coming, what was coming. If you're wondering about the noise, there's my significant other typing in the background, but there's also my cat trying to destroy one of his cardboard boxes, which is a very cat thing to do. Going to do the ferns. Again, I don't want to put too many details, but I want them to be somewhat recognizable as ferns. There's a lot of things I want to draw. There's a lot of things on my list, on my to draw list. But I'm kind of spacing them out because, okay, one of them is a commission. I should do it even though there's no deadline on it. It's something fun with aliens. One of them is a commission, and most of the rest is either stuff I can't publish yet because it's stuff for books I'm making, or old comics I'm trying to get back to. Anyway, the reason I'm trying to space the rest of the stuff on the on the to-do list, on the to-draw list, is because a lot of it is Death Stranding stuff. I'm still not over this game. It's a great thing to be so into something. It's really a feeling I was missing back when I was depressed, and that's also why I was so excited when I found how much I loved the game Until Dawn at the time. And the reason it managed to reach out to me while I was depressed, this specific game Until Dawn, was because some stuff in this game was really mirroring stuff I was going through at that moment. One of the reasons that made me depressed was something really bad happened to my left hand, and I almost lost a finger. Not an entire finger, mind you, but bits of a finger. And it didn't happen. My finger is great now. You wouldn't be able to tell, but I know, and it hurt for an entire year, non-stop. And yeah, the fact that stuff in that game was mirroring stuff I was going through, that there's a character who loses fingers, it managed to reach out to me and to speak to me in a way nothing else could at the time. That's one of the reasons why I love the game so much. I think one thing people I don't think one thing people tend to have trouble understanding about depression. It's not the thing is you know exactly what you should do. You should go out. You should try to do stuff you like. But your brain is actively preventing you from doing so, and the stuff you like doesn't register as stuff you like anymore, because your brain is actually actively fighting against everything that would make you happy. And it gets even worse. That's a thing I wasn't really fully believing before it happened to me, but I have a really, really hard time remembering nice things that happened while I was depressed, and not just big things, but small things. Like something really interesting happened a while ago. A friend shared a music video with me, and I was like, "Oh, this is hilarious! I never seen anything like this before. It's great. I love it." And another friend in the conversation was like, "But you've seen this before?" And I was like, "What? No, I haven't. I'm really sure I haven't." It was something with penguins, and I was like, "No, I'd remember. I'd remember a music video with penguins in it." And the guy was like, "But you did. You saw it already." And it was on Discord, and he found the logs from right in in the middle of my depression, of him linking this exact same music video to me, and me reacting with, "Oh my god, it's hilarious, I love it." And I was extremely confused because I had zero recollection of that. And your brain has a really hard time registering anything close to happy when you're depressed. And what I'm trying to get at with this is that to reach you, things can't be just happy, or you're going to forget them immediately, because your brain isn't even registering them when you're like that. So to reach you, it has to play on other feelings. And horror games play on a lot of levels and a lot of different kinds of feelings. And that one really reached out to me. And there's a lot of funny stuff in it, and there's a lot of nice parts on on top of all the scares and horror. But the only reason these parts could reach me was because they were inside this horror game, which was a thing my brain could understand at the time, could perceive and register. So whenever someone is listening to sad music when they're sad, it's not necessarily because they're actively making themselves depressed or anything. No, it's because that's a thing their brain can register and decode. Let's say decode. And if there's some positive feelings in the sad music, they can reach through. They can help, because that's the only language your brain speaks at the moment. I'm talking and talking, and we're almost done, I think. I don't want to put too many lights on the tree because it's gonna distract from the neons and everything. I'm gonna put a few lights here. I started to talk about Death Stranding and I ended up talking about Until Dawn and depression. I still haven't played the new game by the guys who made Until Dawn. I have it already, I just haven't played it yet. I really should do that. But currently I'm playing a game called The Pathless, which is very beautiful. It's by the guys who made Abzu and some of the team who made Journey, which is one of my favorite games of all time. Don't know if I've mentioned that anywhere yet. What can I say? I like games where you're walking. Not just games when you're walking, it's just... I mean, one of my most played games is Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, so I also like destroying monsters from time to time. Oh, speaking of which, I saw the Monster Hunter movie, and I wanted to see it for science, because I like the game so much, and I dislikes this guy's movie so much. I wanted to be able to make fun of it, but to my surprise, it was extremely stupid, but also extremely fun. And I don't regret seeing it at all. And I can't make fun of it, actually. I've recommended it to just about all my friends. There's no plot whatsoever. It's just go from point A to point B, try to survive, kill a few monsters, make friends. And that's it. That's the plot. I spoiled the entirety of Monster Hunter the movie right there. And yeah, it's weirdly fun. If you like the games, definitely try watching it. It's not the movie of the century or anything, but you're gonna have fun at least. I'm just gonna add a few dots and stuff, and we're gonna be finished. And of course, after that, I'm going to do the final line art. But as usual, I'm going to do this off camera because it's not very interesting. It's just retracing the lines that are already traced. So it doesn't add anything to the video, and it's just a waste of your time. There you go. I'm just going to add a few dots because I put dots everywhere. You know how I am. I like putting little dots, little pinpricks of light. I mean, the air in the forest isn't still. There's always little insects, little dusts, things, bits of leaves, stuff like that in the air. There's always something happening. If nothing happens, there's something fishy going on usually. I don't trust a forest where I can't hear birds. There's something weird in that forest, and you should get out. I'm not talking. I'm not talking supernatural stuff. I'm just talking humans being loud somewhere and scaring off animals and maybe being dangerous. Because if you can't see them, it's because they're hiding, and that's never good. Okay. Oh, I forgot this neon. There you go. Forest spirit, but make it rave. I like this. I think it's a good drawing, I think. Have a nice day.